What's up, friends? How y'all doing? Hopefully doing well. My name is Jesse Hughes, and I want to say thank you all for looking at another video that I'm getting ready to publish. And hopefully that this video will be something that would cause us to think. Hopefully this video will cause us to, be motivated. Hopefully this video will be inspiring and enlightening to us. And I'm sitting here thinking about a lot of things that we go through as it pertains to philosophy, as it pertains to moral philosophy, as it pertains to ethics, as it pertains to how we should live and how we should not live, what is right and what is wrong. And I'm sitting here thinking about those, certain words of when it pertains to moral philosophy. Moral philosophy has to do with, what is right and what is wrong. Back in the days, 10, 15, 20 years ago, there will be always this commercial. And on this commercial, there will be on the right-hand side, there will be this angel, this other you that was depicted of an angel that was telling you what is right. And then on the left-hand side, there was always this other you, and it would be trying to lead you astray, lead you to do things that was wrong. And in society, in the life that we live, we're living with, as pertaining to making two choices, two decisions in life. One of the decisions could be a right decision, and one of the decisions can be a wrong decision. And in the right decision, it will lead you down a path of a different way than it pertains to the decisions that we make that is wrong. So when it comes to moral philosophy has to do with distinction. Not only distinction, it has to do with a decision that is right or wrong. And the first time that you ever heard of something as it pertains to morality, as it pertains to ethics, as it pertains to a moral philosophy of what is right and what is wrong was back in the Bible days in the book of Genesis. When God told Adam, he said, Adam, you can eat of any tree of this field, of this garden. You can eat of this tree, you can eat of that tree, you can eat of this animal, you can kill this animal to eat. But of this tree, of the life of knowledge of good and evil, he said, I don't want you to touch that. For in the day that you touch it, the day that you eat of it, the day that you look upon it, you shall surely die. Not only will you surely die, but you shall know the difference between right and wrong. So, and that was the first time that God ever told somebody, this is the decision that you should make. This is what you should make, and this is what you shouldn't make. And although Adam was the first man, but when it comes to society, when it comes to ethics, when it comes to morality, we're giving choices in life. We're giving decisions in life that we can make. Either the decision we make will be a good decision, or the decisions we make will be a bad decision. But we've got to understand that those choices that we make in life will affect not only us in this day and time, but it can affect us 5 years down the road. It could affect us 10 years down the road. It could affect us 20 years down the road by the decisions we make. And you might ask the question, like, Jesse, what does that has to do with relationship? What does that have to do with, what you always talking about, relationship, religion, and resources? The reason why I'm talking about the decisions we make is because we're living in a day and a time where there's so much immorality going on. There's so much unethical. There's so much stuff that's going on that there's no more type of gauge as it pertains to how we should live, how we should treat people, how we should love one another, how we should do the right thing when it comes to our neighbor, when it comes to our family, our friends, our loved ones, our husbands, our wife. We have gotten away from what is morally right, and we have not only gotten away from what is morally right, we've gotten to the point where if it feels good, just do it. I remember I read years ago when it talked to this guy by the name of Aleister Crowley. Now he had on his mind, he had on his shirt, he had whatever feels good, just do it. And Nike picked up that slogan. And not only did Nike pick up that slogan, there was a guy by the name of Jay-Z. Everybody knows Jay-Z and Sean Puffy. They would always have on their shirt, they would always have some type of propaganda, some type of speech says, whatever feels good, do it. We've gotten to the point now in society if it feels good, just do it. If it makes you happy, just do it. And when it talks about moral philosophy, when it talks about moral ethics, when it talks about medical ethics and everything, you got to understand there's a word that we deal with with philosophy. It has to do with hedonism, and hedonism has to do with pleasure, has to do for the ideal of whatever feels good, just do it. But not only that, if something causing you pain, if something causing you agony, if something causing you hurt, abstain from that. So hedonism has to do with the absence of pain, but the pursuit of pleasure. We've gotten into society now where we're pursuing nothing but pleasure. When it comes to sex, we getting to the point right now where it's always about pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Although sexual intercourse or sexual encounters, when it pertains to a husband and a wife, pertains to a boyfriend and girlfriend, is so pleasurable, but we've gotten away from the pleasure of what makes us feel good as it pertains to our husband and wife. We've gotten to the point right now for, if I sleep with this person or I sleep with that person, it makes me feel good. But you got to understand that if we sleep with this person and that person, if we do this that makes us feel good and that makes us feel good, there's going to be some consequence that might come behind that. We have heard about people sleeping with so many different men and so different women, and in the long run, they've contracted STDs and they've contracted this or contracted that. And the reason why they did that because of the consequences that came behind the actions that they had taken. And when it comes to hedonism has to do with, whatever feels good, just do it. But we living in a society, we living in a time where we're not doing what in God we trust anymore. We're not living by the principles of the things of God now. We have so many people, so many young ladies, so many young men, they are lost a sense of morality. They can get up and they could twerk on TV, and they can twerk on top of cars. They can twerk and twerk and twerk. And it's all fun and game. It makes them feel good. It's something that, that causes people to laugh, say, ooh, she is doing it right, or he's doing it right. But you got to understand that the people that is coming behind you, that see you twerking, the 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids, they don't need to be seeing that kind of junk, that kind of stuff as to a young lady that's twerking, a young man that's doing it with guns and knives and trying to throw up gang signs. A person don't need that. Therefore, you got to have some type of moral ethics. You got to have some type of moral compasses. Although it might feel good for me to twerk it right now, but I got to realize that some people that's coming behind me, and I don't want to influence them for the worse. Like a young guy, he don't want to have somebody coming behind them and influence them for the worse when it comes to weapons, when it comes to guns, because you got to understand that the penal system don't have no respect to person. If you doing something that you shouldn't do, the penal system will have you locked up. The penal system will have you in jail for 5, 10, 15, 20 years over some foolishness that all you had to do is stop doing. When it comes to young ladies, they gotten to the point where if they twerk, if they throwing it in the air, if they doing this and doing that, it's fun and game now. But what about when a man wants to marry? What about a man that wants to settle down with you and treat you like a queen and treat you like the lady that you're supposed to? He don't want to see a lady that is always twerking, always throwing things in the air, always doing things that is not morally up to his standard or up to what he believes in. So when it comes to philosophy, when it comes to moral ethics, when it comes to standards, we have to live a standard. We have to live a lifestyle where it is not always about us. It's not always about what feels good to us. But we've got to have the mindset. We've got to have the idea. Although this feels good to me, but what about the people that is coming behind me that is going to affect? What about if I have a daughter 2 years old that they see their mama doing that? How would that affect her? What if I have a son that is coming behind me and he see me doing this and doing that? How would that affect him? So we've got to understand that we're not living just for us. We're not just living for, what makes us feel good, but we've got to understand that we're living for the generations to come. We got to live for not only us, but we've got to live for the people that is coming behind. And if it causes us sometimes to have a sense of morality, a sense of ethics, a sense of gauging my life and say, I'm not going to do this and do that because of the persons that are coming behind me, let's do that, because it's not about us. It's not about always how we feel. It's not all about the pleasures that we might be wanting to experience, but we've got to understand that the people that is coming behind us, we've got to understand we're living for them also. That is why Martin Luther King, that is why Jesse Jackson, that's why those people sacrificed for us, because they knew that it wasn't just about them, but it was about the people that was coming behind them. So you get to the point where it's not all about you, it's not all about me, but it's about the people that is coming behind me, that is coming behind you, that are looking and say, well, I want to be an example to these people. And I promise you that if you be a good example to them, 5 years down the road, they can look and say, you know, I remember that you was, you know, doing this and doing that, but you stopped doing it. And now I can look up to you and say, you are a great example in my life. You are a good influencer in my life, because you didn't want to, you know, be an example as to something bad, but you wanted to be an example of something that it was good and positive. So I want to let you all know that regardless of what goes on in life, you know, let us not be an influencer of something that is bad, something that is evil, something that is detriment to people, but let us be an influencer of something that would cause people in 5 years down the road will want to be something great in life. And you know, if I say anything today or tonight, whenever you watch this video, I want you to give me a like, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscription, and say, Jess, I enjoy, because I'm all about being an influencer. I'm all about being something positive in life. So until this time, next time, I want to say, God bless you, and God bless you.